Hi friends, this is Madhu and I have been in this Java training and Java development field for almost 12 years. Now I'm also working as a tester and I have been included in automation team, testing automation team. Today I came in front of you to give the brief introduction about Selenium. So first question is, what is a Selenium? Selenium is an open source automation testing suite which is especially used to automate the web applications, which is especially used to automate the test cases which are used to test the web applications. So it is a automation, testing suite or testing tool which is mainly used to automate the test cases which are used to test web applications. Okay, now my another question is, for which type of testing we can use this Selenium? Simple. We know that testing is divided into two categories, that is functional and non-functional. This Selenium is mainly introduced to automate the functional testing, not non-functional testing. Okay, so my question is simply, what is an automation? Okay, for that, see this introduction. We know that testing is divided into two categories. Okay, first category is functional testing and second category is non-functional testing. Functional and non-functional. Okay, so this functional testing is also categorized into two types, simply two types. Okay, one is manual testing and second one is automation testing. Okay, in manual testing, what a software engineer do, a test engineer performs? Simply, test engineer tests the test cases on the web applications, on the application simply. So if a tester manually tests the product or an application, then it is called as manual testing. So that test engineer, what he does is test engineer job is to prepare or simply writes the test cases and executes them. So who is writing the test cases? Test engineer. Who is executing those test cases? Test engineer. So that's why it is called as manual testing. So can you tell me what is automation testing then? Simple. Whatever the test cases we have, we need to automate them, and the program will execute those test cases. If a person executes the test cases, it is manual testing. If a program executes those test cases, then it is called automation testing. Sorry. If the test cases are executed by the program, then it is called as automation testing. Now you might understand, everybody understand what is the difference between automation and manual. But in automation, what we need to do? You need to convert the test cases into test scripts here. Okay? In manual testing, test engineer writes test cases. Okay? In manual testing, test cases are written by test engineer. Okay? So this is important point. Same thing happens here also, but here in the automation testing, test scripts are written by the test engineer. That's the main difference. So simply test cases are converted into test scripts. Here we write the test cases and we execute the test engineer executes these test cases, but comes here, test scripts are written by the test engineer, and test scripts means simply programs, okay, and we can execute them. But to write the test scripts, we need to take the support of automation tool, any automation tool. We need to take the support of any one of the automation tools. We have many automation tools. We need to take the support of automation tools. So simply, you know what is automation? I'll tell you now. Automation is nothing but process of converting test cases into test scripts by using any automation tool is called automation. 1 minute. Okay. What are the other automation tools we have? One, Selenium. We know that. We know it because we are talking about it. And we have QTP and RFD and Renorex, etc. We have different types of automation tools. By using any one of the tool, I can write the test scripts. I can convert the test cases into test scripts. Then we can say it is an automation. Got it? So now my question is, what is the main use of automation? We are able to do we are executing, or we are testing our application manually. I'm doing same thing in automation also. Then why we automate the testings? Can't we do it manually? We are able to do it now. That's my question. So simple answer is, if we automate the test case, execution becomes faster. And once you write the test script, then we can use that test script any number of times. That is reusability. Once you write the code, you can use it any number of times. But in manual, you can't reuse it. You need to do the same thing again and again. If you want to, for example, you have one web application, you need to test the login checking. Okay. Now what do? Whatever the scenario you have, login is the scenario. There you can see number of test cases, like whether the user ID text field is accepting characters and numbers or not, whether the password field is accepting some numbers or not, some characters or not, is the minimum length is 4 or not, is the maximum length is restricted to some 12 or not, like this, whatever the test cases we write, all the test cases we need to test again for another web application. For example, you have web application 1, you have web application 2, you have another web application. For all the web applications, you need to do a scenario called login. You need to test the scenario called login. For that, what you need to do? For first web application, you need to do the same thing. For second web application, you need to do the same thing, same testing again. So what you are doing there? You're doing the same work again and again. You're wasting a lot of time. But comes to automation, if you automate that login scenario, in that login scenario, whatever the test cases might come, all those are converted into, all those are converted into test scripts, then we can reuse it for other web applications, for other applications. That is the main advantage of automation. So now we are going to discuss about advantages of automation. One minute, I'll shift from here to no. That's better. Okay, yeah. Now, advantages of automation. First advantage, saves a lot of time. Accuracy. And reusability. Cost to company. Without recruiting more resources, we can test many applications, many test cases very easily by using automation. And product quality will be increased. How quality becomes introduced? At the time of doing testing manually, there is a chance to there is a chance of not to performing testing perfectly if it is manual. But comes to automation, always perfect. If you write the code perfectly once, that always runs perfectly. So product quality will be always increased and becomes perfect. And by using automation, if you do the automation, yeah, it's already covered. That is saves a lot of time. How saves a lot of time? It can execute many number of test cases only within a day. Hundreds and thousands of test cases we can execute if we do automation. If it is in manual, you can do only 40 to 60 or 40 to 70, like that. Maximum 60, I think. If it is small test case, you can maybe 60, or if it is bigger test cases, takes a lot of time, it may be 20, 30, that's it. But comes to automation, you can easily execute within a day hundreds and thousands of test cases if you want. That's the main advantage. Okay, then. So why Selenium? I said that Selenium, QTP, RFT, and Runrocks, like that, we have different types of automation tools. But why the companies are using Selenium? Simple. The main features, advantages that Selenium has, for example, let me say why Selenium. Simply, or we can say difference between Selenium and QTP, because before Selenium, QTP is the most popular one. QTP, why not QTP? Why most of the companies which are using QTP is updating to Selenium? Why most of the companies are following it? Okay, that's what we are going to discuss about it. So Selenium versus QTP. Simple. First one, open source. What is the meaning of open source? Do you know that? Costly. We can use the Selenium at free of cost. We can download at free of cost, and we can use it directly in our applications. Nobody will ask you. But comes to QTP, it is introduced by HP company. It is more costlier. First difference. Second one, Selenium, for example, I'm using Selenium automation tool, and now I can write the test scripts, isn't it? I can convert the test cases into test scripts. Now tell me, on which language I can write those test scripts? Java, I can use to write the test scripts. Perl, I can use. PHP, also possible. C# is possible. Python is possible. Like that, it supports different languages. That's the main advantage of Selenium. It comes to QTP, HP suggested that we need to use the VB script. That is a little bit difficult actually compared with Java, PHP, Python, C#. VB script is a little bit difficult also. Okay, that is another disadvantage. Okay, next, go to third point. Which browsers the Selenium supports? It supports IE, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, and whatever the new one. The different types of browsers are there. It supports all those browsers also. I'll tell you later. But it supports only IE and Firefox. That's it. Comes to Selenium, it can run on different platforms like Linux, Mac, and Windows. But comes to QDB, it only runs on Windows. Fifth point, more flexible and extendable. Less flexible and extendable. Why QTP is less extendable? My simple answer is, 1 minute I'll tell you. Based on language, I'm telling that it is not flexible. VB script is not that much flexible, but comes to Java, PHP, Perl, Python, C#, all are very, very flexible languages. We can extend it even. We have lots of features in Java and Perl, PHP, Python, C#. So the Selenium is more flexible. We can write the code very easily compared with VB scripts. That's why it's called as flexible. For which type of applications we can automate? We can automate the testing for which type of applications? Not 1 minute. For web and mobile applications. But here the QTP has another advantage called desktop applications also possible, and web applications and mobile. So if we want to automate the test cases for desktop GUI components in Selenium, you need to include some other type of automation tools. We have Automation IT and Sikuli. By using these, by including these automation tools into Selenium, we can do the test case. We can automate the test cases for even desktop applications also, desktop GUI components also. So to test desktop GUI components, in Selenium, we need to include other tools like Sikuli, okay, Sikuli and Automation IT, or we can say Auto IT, and etc. So this is the main difference between Selenium and QTP. Differences, sorry, between and QDB. So this is the brief introduction about Selenium. Now you may understand about the Selenium. What is Selenium first of all, and what is the use of Selenium, and what are the extra advantages it has over QTP. Okay, so in the next video I'll give you the brief history about Selenium. Okay, so thank you.